Today inside of Education Matters, we'll meet Miss Janie Rule, who is founder and executive director of Learn English for Living Foundation. Learn how this organization is removing the language barrier for children and adults. You might be able to help. Up next on Education Matters with Donna Moore Westby. Welcome inside of Education Matters. My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host, and we're connecting you to the world of education one step at a time. Thanks again for joining us for another brand new edition of Education Matters, and we sure hope that you will find this broadcast to be informative. If not for you, then maybe you'll pass it along to someone who can benefit from the information. We are thrilled to have Miss Janie Rule here in the studio with me today, and we'll talk about a wonderful foundation that is definitely removing the language barriers for children and adults. Now, it's not just for individuals who may be Hispanic, but anyone who is interested in learning English as a second language and looking to experience more of what life has to offer in this great country. So make sure you stay tuned and keep it locked right here inside of ASTV, all right? Well, just as we normally do, I'd like to thank all of the sponsors of Education Matters, as well as our friends of the broadcast, and you will see who those individuals are during our commercial break, and we sure hope that you will patronize those who are making it possible for us to bring Education Matters to these airwaves every week, all right? Okay, want to give you just a couple of reminders. If you have a child or a grandchild who is now in high school, now is the time to register your child for the SAT and the ACT standardized exams. Now, hopefully you've heard of these terms before. Certainly if you've listened to the radio broadcast of Education Matters, you know that we're talking about these exams all of the time. And I'm very proud to say that here in Aiken County, the numbers of students taking the ACT, we just released this at the school board meeting this week, the numbers have dramatically increased, so much so to we are higher than the national average. And I believe, Miss Cindy, that it is definitely an attribution to our focus right here inside of Education Matters. So bravo to you parents, grandparents who have been taking heed to the wonderful advice we provide you every week, okay? The SAT. Now, the next test date is October the 1st. The deadline to register for that test is September the 9th. For more information, go to collegeboard.com. Again, that is collegeboard.com, okay? And also for the ACT, now this is a very similar exam, but it measures more of what the child has already learned up to this point in high school. The next test date is September the 10th. Now, you might have already missed regular registration and late registration for this exam. So the next test date is October the 22nd. And the deadline for that test date is September the 16th. Now, for more information on the ACT, go to act.org, okay? All right, again, if you do not have access to the internet, all you need to do is contact the guidance departments at your child's high school, and they will be able to help you get your child registered, okay? All right, very good. Now it's time to move into this week's Education Matters Tip of the Week, okay? And we'll place this up on the screen for you. This week's Tip of the Week: talk with your child of any age about bullying. Ensure that your child understands that bullying can occur in many ways, such as through texting, through phone calls, through email, and yes, of course, face-to-face, all right? Review the Code of Conduct book on bullying policies and procedures that every school district gives to parents and students during the first week of classes. That is this week's Education Matters tip of the week. Now, when I talk about bullying, I'm not just talking about telling your child how to recognize if he or she is being bullied. I'm also saying talk to your child about the consequences of bullying others, okay? It is extremely prominent in today's schools, which I'm very disappointed in that. In my opinion, we can combat the incidents of bullying from the home. If we teach our children values and morals and respect of others and to care and have compassion for others, no matter their differences, then we can dramatically decrease the incidence of bullying. That is my personal opinion, all right? So now, it is time for this week's Word of the Week. Yes, it is Word of the Week time inside of Education Matters, and this one is a fun word. This week's Word of the Week is oxymoron. Oxymoron, okay? And I'll spell that for you. Oxymoron. And no, we're not talking about a moron, a person that just gets on your nerves. An oxymoron, okay? Oxymoron is a noun, and it means a figure of speech in which opposite or contradictory ideas or terms are combined, okay? Here's a sentence for you. Parting is such sweet sorrow is an example of an oxymoron that military families often recite. Again, parting is such sweet sorrow is an oxymoron. It's an example of an oxymoron that military families often recite. Okay. Well, that is this week's Word of the Week. Play around with that word and see if you could come up with an oxymoron of your own. If you can, I want you to visit my website, and that is edmatt.com, edmatt.com. Shoot me some oxymorons that you can come up with, and maybe we'll share them on Education Matters, okay? Again, all of our tips of the week and words of the week are found on my website. We sure hope you'll check that out. Make sure you share those words with your children and grandchildren so that we can all learn and grow together. They will see these words again on the SAT and ACT exams, so make sure you share them. Have fun with the words. Come up with little contests within your home. Have a little fun. We do that in our own family, okay? All right. Well, I think I've covered all of the news briefs that I wanted to mention to you this morning. It's now time to talk about our topic for today. And here in the studio with me is Miss Janie Rule, who is the founder and executive director of Learn English for Living Foundation. Welcome, Miss Janie, to the ASTV studios.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you, and very thrilled with what you're doing with this organization. First of all, tell us a little bit about you, where you live, and how you became involved with this particular initiative.
I'm living in the Aiken County in the Clearwater area.
I'm going to ask you to speak up just a little bit. I know you're not nervous. We
No,
had a
I'm
little
not.
talk beforehand, so it's going to be fun. I promise I won't bite today.
Okay. I live in Clearwater area.
Okay.
And the way that I began on this initiative is I was born into a family of farmers. Okay, and we had a 300-acre farm that my parents, when they became Christians, turned it into a 200-bed camp for inner-city children.
Wow.
That would come out. And
Does it still exist?
no,
Okay.
it does not. My
Wow.
father has passed away.
Okay.
But what that did is it laid the groundwork for a family of service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like
And
that.
there were a lot of different times in my life that I was thrown into different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved off of the farm, we moved into the city. Well, that is a culture of its own.
Yes.
Okay, so I had to
You
learn
got
a new,
that right.
at 16, I had to learn a new culture, a new language, a new way to function. Then when I was 27, I moved to Germany for 8 years. Again, I had to learn a new culture, a new
Right.
language, a new way of life. Then in 2003, I had to go to Korea for a couple of different visits. I was there 4 times.
My goodness.
That was a culture and a language that I never did even master good morning, you know. But because of it being Korea, it also was a language that I couldn't read. So for the first time in my life, I felt the true pain of not being able to function
Communicate, yeah.
at all. And the town where I was at, it was not Seoul, so they didn't speak English, and I had a very difficult time finding anyone that spoke English.
My goodness.
So for the first time, I really knew what it felt like to be illiterate and not be able to communicate in the language.
And I bet as you grew older, it probably helped you to become more compassionate to those who would come to this country being in a very similar situation, who were good people, but just as you said, a totally different culture, a different language, and that can be, I'm sure, paralyzing in a sense.
It was very much so. But again, like you said, it gave me a lot of compassion. Before I'd gone to Korea, I'd already had compassion when I would go to different restaurants in our town, you know, or in this area. And I could tell that the the service people could not communicate in English. Okay, I had that compassion. When I went to Korea, I felt the pain. So when I came back, while I was in Korea, they had requested that I help them with some ESL programs that they were doing there.
And ESL stands
I'm sorry,
for?
English is a second language.
Yes.
And so I was in on a talking club where students would come in from the local university, and they would just have a conversation with us in English so that they could practice their English. Well, it heightened my interest.
Wow.
You know, so when I came back here, then I felt like I needed to do something about it.
And you came back here, how old were you at that time?
This was just back in 2003,
Okay,
2004.
all right, wow. So having lived through an experience where you go to another country, not knowing the culture, not knowing the language, I'm sure there were many barriers you had to overcome. Speak about that.
Well, I didn't know how to use their bus system. I didn't know how to use their train system. I had to have someone write on index cards for me translations from Korean to English, asking what time does the bus leave for such and such, because I could not read any of the signs. You know, I was illiterate.
Wow.
Offices that we needed to go to, I had to, you know, try to figure out how to get there. We were staying in a hotel. We hung on to the card because we were so afraid that we'd get in a taxi and we wouldn't be able to get back because we didn't know how to say the address.
Yeah.
I mean, it took us 3 days to figure out how to buy food.
My goodness.
It took us a week and a half to figure out how to get cash. We thought, you know, we would use our credit cards. Where we were at, they didn't use credit cards. You know, so I mean, it took us several trips to the bank before we actually figured out how to get cash.
And I'm sure there were also probably maybe some paranoia and lack of trust, because I imagine if you don't know the language, then you may not be totally confident that people are telling you the truth, telling you the right way to go, and giving you the right money change back and all those kinds of things. So it's interesting that you use the word illiterate, and quite honestly, I've not thought about it that way before, that if I were to go to another country, although I speak fluent English here and I even know 5 years worth of French, to go to another country where I don't know the language, I guess you would in a sense be illiterate. That's an interesting way of thinking about it. So having gone through that experience and you have come back to the United States in 2003, what was the inspiration for you to say, okay, I need to do something about this to help others?
I began volunteering with some programs in the area.
Okay.
Okay, and as I was doing that, I saw needs wherever I went. And so then I started working with one of the restaurants and working with their employees. Okay, and that kind of expanded, and then, you know, I started, had a group that was going into some of the schools, and we were helping with the English as a second language children, just, you know, working with their reading. And as that kept growing, the need just got larger and larger, you know, that I could see what was really needed. And so then I decided to go ahead and try to form it. Well, for years we had done the volunteer, and then it just seemed like it needed to be more organized, you know, to really be extremely functional and to be progressive.
Right.
So then we organized it in 2010. We got our 501c3. That in itself was a challenge.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
I know what you mean.
you know, through this whole process of formulating
Talk
this,
about feeling illiterate.
yeah, going through this whole process of formulating this foundation has been so interesting because, again, I feel like I've had to learn another language. I mean, it is just things that you don't normally do.
Miss Janie, don't feel badly. The government's language is a different language.
I know. I worked with the government for several years. I know that one too.
So I bet that was a challenge, but your heart evidently was there. Earlier, when you first started to speak, you talked about that the foundation was laid in your family for service, and that is extremely admirable, and one with which we talk about all the time inside of Education Matters, because in order for us to really impact change in our communities, in our state, in our country, it takes people who are willing to serve others and just have that attitude of compassion, definitely humility, and to form a nonprofit where you are dealing with individuals who obviously don't have the skills that they want. You know, it definitely takes a person who has the mind for service and giving. So how did you even take the first steps to form Learn English for Living?
Well, the first thing was trying to get the 501c3 because I felt it was very important. I know it takes money to make something be really progressive.
Well, let me ask you this, because there are many people, and we're going to get into the specifics of the organization in a moment, but there are many people just like you, just like me, who have a heart for people and a heart for giving. And they're out there doing what they normally do, giving, serving, caring, whatever the case may be. And many people are satisfied with doing just that every day. But it takes something else to then say, okay, I need to take this a step further and develop or organize a true foundation. What do you believe was the divider or the catalyst for you that helped you to see there's a difference there? I need to take this a step further.
Well, because when you're not a formed foundation, okay, you can tell people I'm doing this or I'm doing that or we're doing this, but when you become formed and you get validity, then you can pull together all the ranks. You can pull together the volunteers and say, come on, we're going to all get under this same hat. We're going to all do this together, and this is all for the good of what the result will be.
Tell us the mission of Learn for English.
The mission is to break the barrier one person at a time, the language barrier. Okay?
All right.
It's to empower the students so that they can move forward in life and that they can advance in their community, that they can advance their education.
Yes,
you know.
And I want to reiterate, we're going to go ahead and put up slide 1, which I believe evidently is the slogan for Learn English for Living Foundation, breaking the language barrier one person at a time. How did you come up with the name, and how did you come up with the slogan?
The name came from our curriculum program director. She came up with that, and I thought it was just beautiful.
Very appropriate.
You know, yes,
Yeah.
very. She wanted something that said learn, because this is geared towards people that don't know English. So we thought we had to be very specific about learn English, because even if you don't know the language, you'll usually know those 2 words.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good.
As far as the slogan, we really know that not knowing English is a huge barrier.
Right.
Okay, it's really very debilitating for people.
When you're in this country, for sure.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So if we can break that barrier, and we want to do it one person at a time. We don't want to do it as a whole group, as a whole school. We want to do it one volunteer, one person at a time.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about how Learn English for Living accomplishes its mission of breaking that language barrier. How do you go about helping individuals who come to you and say, I need help?
Okay. Currently, we have different programs at different sites. Okay. In one of our programs, we have 4 individual skill levels. Okay, we have 4 individual classes that are divided out by skill level. We have absolute beginners, we have ones that are intermediate beginners, we have the ones that are a little bit more advanced, and we have ones that are wanting to go off to college or, get their GED in English or something of that sort.
So is there an assessment that's done at the onset of a person requesting your assistance?
Yes.
Okay.
We do testing when they first come in, and we do intermediate testing. And I'm really proud to say last year every student that we tested along the way had advanced at least 1 level.
That's good.
I mean, they move so quickly, if they're just given the chance.
Right, right.
And then we also have another program where we have children included. We do K-5 through 12th grade homework tutoring. We're not trying to teach them the subjects. We're just trying to assist them with their homework.
Okay.
And we also do try to strengthen their math, reading, and writing skills if we have time allotted after their homework is finished.
Okay.
We also have a preschool program for the younger children, because what we would really like to see is for these children, for the first time that I know of, a mass of these children to go into the school system knowing some English.
Right.
I mean, a lot of times I have talked to so many kindergarten teachers, and they're just heartbroken because they get children that don't know any English at all.
Right.
So we're trying to give them the colors and the numbers and the alphabet and just some basic English.
And those basics to us could just mean volumes to a child who is illiterate and trying to function in this country. So we're excited with what you're doing. In just a moment, after a few words from our sponsors, we'll talk more about the classes. We'll talk about maybe you are interested in needing these services. We'll get into those details, and we'll also share with you the service areas and how you might be able to help others who are looking to learn English for a living. All right? My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host of Education Matters, and we'll be right back.
Total Women's Healthcare means treating the women physically, emotionally, and everything in between. At Magnolia Medical Women's Center, we treat and diagnose common and unusual medical problems related to female health. Magnolia Medical Center is a premium high-level obstetrics and gynecology clinic for women of all ages. Our clients receive the time they deserve without feeling rushed and unimportant. We are located in the Aiken Medical Center, 410 University Parkway in Aiken, Suite 2300. Call us today at 803-649-6366.
I lead a busy life, but I still have to make sure my family eats right. And everybody loves Dawn's Seasoning Delight. I use Dawn's on meats and vegetables. It's healthy, tastes great, and it's simple to use. It's like having a chef in a bottle.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Bilo, Food Line, Reeds, and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Dawn's Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Have you seen Dawn's Seasoning Delight in grocery stores but still have not tried it? Well, next time on Education Matters, meet the local man behind the sauce, Mr. Don Wesby. Hear his delightful story of how he turned playing in the kitchen into creating a product sold all around the world, Dawn's Seasoning Delight. Next time on Education Matters with Donna Moore Wesby, right here on ASTV.
Does your child or grandchild need help in reading or math, or can benefit from preparatory coursework for the HSAP, ACT, or SAT? If so, contact the Barner Group Educational Associates. Our staff specializes in formatting an individualized approach to assisting your child academically. We offer low-cost tutorial services and educational programs. Participants may qualify for free services. To learn more, call for Alicia Cuthbertson of the Barner Group Educational Associates, 1-888-TBG-3996.
Need positive and constructive after-school activities for your children? Call the Martial Arts Academy in Aiken under the direction of International Olympic trainer Andrew Blocker. The Martial Arts Academy offers an award-winning approach to teaching Taekwondo. It's an effective approach to instilling discipline. The Martial Arts Academy also offers self-defense and fitness classes for all ages. Enroll today in this affordable program by calling 803-642-5723 or visit the studio at 2398 Whiskey Road in Aiken. The Martial Arts Academy, positively changing the lives of youth and adults.
When it comes to grilling, I'm the man. Using Dawn Seasoning Delight, I'm the grill master.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Buy Low, Food Line, Reeds and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Dawn Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Dawn Seasoning Delight is so good.
Welcome back inside of Education Matters. My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host, where we're connecting you to the world of education one step at a time. Today's broadcast definitely proves that education matters. Here in the studio with me today is Miss Janie Rule. She is the founder and executive director of Learn English for Living Foundation. It is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is definitely making a difference in the lives of our children and adults. You're going to want to hear more about this organization. Ms. Rule, before we heard from our sponsors, we talked a little bit about the classes. Now, I want to put up the slide that shows the service areas currently available for those who are interested in the program. James, if we can, yes. So currently you're serving those where?
Aiken, South Carolina. This area, we have classes in Clearwater and in North Augusta.
Okay.
And the Augusta area and in Chilton, Wisconsin, we have one class.
Okay, now for the Aiken, South Carolina class, specifically where is that session and how can people get it on the list for receiving the services?
Okay, currently we don't have a class in Aiken.
Okay.
Okay, the classes are in Clearwater and in North Augusta.
Okay.
In Clearwater, they're at the Nazarene Church on Jefferson Davis Highway.
Okay.
Okay. And in North Augusta, for a year and a half, we've had classes at the Our Lady of the Peace Church.
All right, and I think we have those. Do you know those addresses right off of the top of your head? I think I'll provide those.
I don't.
I'll provide those at after our next commercial break. Okay, so we've got the service areas down, and I know that you have statistics, quick facts, and I'd love to share those quick facts about the Aiken area that were pulled from the 2000 census that proves or validates the necessity of your organization. Walk us through that information.
Okay, we have 77,684 individuals in the area that speak a language other than English in their home. 24% of those live below poverty level. 75.1% of those live above or at poverty level. 32% are not U.S. citizens.
Wow.
And 32.9% over the age of 25 have less than a high school education.
That's some very startling statistics that proves that an organization such as this is definitely needed. Now, one of the goals of Learn English for Living is it's more than just removing the language barrier in terms of teaching English to those who need it, but it's also preparing those individuals who are wanting to become citizens of this country.
Right, and we have done quite a bit of tutoring on the
Okay.
citizenship, and we have had success with them becoming citizens.
Now, how does that whole process work? Is there an additional step once you are teaching the language, teaching English? Is there a whole nother curriculum that then prepares them for the citizenship exam?
Right, that's a separate class.
Okay.
They go through the English first, and sometimes even as they're going through the English, then we take them through the citizenship class.
Okay. Now, I would imagine since you're dealing with so many different people, and I want to be clear, it's not just individuals who are Hispanic, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you could possibly be providing service to whom?
Well, we've had a lot of people from Korea and China and Russia and Slovenia, France, several different countries.
Now, how in the world, okay, you're teaching them English, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you even communicate the very first words when they're speaking a totally different language? Does that require you to know a little bit of these other languages?
No, actually, we've been really fortunate. The one language that we do have people that speak it is Spanish.
Okay.
Because we have found that with a lot of the cultures, they have a basic English in their country.
Okay.
Okay, and we have the curriculum that we have is a lot of picture dictionaries and different things that they can look at the book and they can tell what English word we're trying to work with. And we do have different picture dictionaries in multi-languages, so it may have French and English on the same, the same words that we're trying to teach.
Okay.
But the absolute beginners is where you need to have the language.
Okay.
And we usually find that is in the Spanish. And a couple of years ago, I started teaching myself Spanish before the foundation was organized, because I was losing students because you can't teach if you didn't know any of their language.
That's what I would think, yeah.
But it's only that one class.
Okay.
It's only that one level. Once you get past that level, and I mean our need for volunteers is way past that level, and that's what people usually ask me is, oh, well, I don't speak another language. And if people just remember, we're teaching English.
Right.
If you speak English, you got it.
As long as there are pictures and we can draw,
that's right.
and we can communicate at some level. Okay. Now, would you say that most of your clients are already educated to some degree? Are they coming in the door with a high school diploma or already in school, or is there some type of requirement that they have a certain level of education before they come to you?
No. In fact, I would say 80% of our clients do not have a high school degree.
Wow.
I've been really amazed while I've been doing this to find how many countries there are that people don't have any education.
Mm-hmm.
I've had several students that went to second, third grade and they stopped because they had to go to work. So
Yes.
no, high school or college is the exception.
And I would imagine what an awesome feeling it could be for you if you were to open that door of teaching them English, to where if they receive their citizenship, to then go on to get a GED or some type of high school equivalency. I mean, that could be amazing at what level and the next steps they could take. Have you experienced any of that to this point?
Yeah, we have had some people that moved on.
Okay.
And it's really fantastic to be a piece of that, to be a part of that.
Wonderful.
But what we've seen more often is the ones that get their citizenship, or the ones that are able to promote within their job, or the parent whose child was failing in one of our schools, but they couldn't communicate with the teachers, or they didn't feel like they really understood what's going on in the system.
Right.
Even though I know the Board of Education and the schools do have a translator, they still felt like they were on the outside because they didn't have English. But once they were able to go in there and communicate with the teachers more proficiently, the proud,
Oh, yeah.
how proud they become,
Yes,
and
definitely.
the confidence. I had a student a couple of months ago in our class, and she was telling the other students the confidence that she goes out into the community with now, you know, compared to what she didn't have. That those are the, you know, when I hear those things, that's what just gets my heart.
Oh yeah, and
You
I'm
know.
sure it gives you that extra motivation to keep on going. I could imagine that it could be almost like a child learning to read for the first time.
It is.
I mean, it just opens up your mind and it opens up a whole new world of experiences that you just didn't even know you were missing, quite frankly. Now, we're going to try something here. We actually have one of your students, right? And we're going to try to, live on TV, now this is live TV, to get this individual. Now, who are we calling?
Louisa.
I think it's the young man.
Oh, no, that's the one you just
Okay,
called.
we're going to try Louisa.
Louisa.
That's right. Okay, let's see if we can get Miss Louisa on the line. And I think wrong number. We're going to try that again. Okay, just bear with us. Tell us a little bit while I'm doing this. Tell us a little bit about Louisa.
She is just a fantastic person.
Okay.
She is from Puerto Rico. I mean, I'm sorry, she's from Dominican Republic. She then spent a lot of her life in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
But when she first came here, then her and I,
Okay, we got to leave a message. We're 2 for 2. All right, we'll try during the next commercial break. So hopefully we'll be able to get our students. But tell us about Louisa.
so she came to have English lessons, and then she decided she also wanted her citizenship, and we worked really hard at it for quite a while, and she has acquired her citizenship, and she has it's just really changed her life. You know, she has a good job now, and her family is together, and it's just been an awesome thing for her and for me to watch as,
Well, that's
you know, as a
wonderful.
part of that.
That is wonderful. And isn't that what, I say this all the time, and people may think that I am just pretending, but I really do believe that it's efforts like this that make life worth living. When you're able to touch a life and you may not be able to see the complete residuals, but when you are able to give someone hope who did not have hope or inspire them where there was no inspiration, it really does do something for you, maybe even greater than the individual that you are servicing. So when we look at Learn English for Living, this is exactly what life is really all about. Viewers, I want you to know, if you would like more information on this exceptional foundation, go to my website, edmatt.com. Again, that's edmatt.com. And on the right column, you will see an area for this week's resources. There you will see the information, or the link, I should say, for English Living. Learn English for Living Foundation will be right there for you. Now we have, want to move on, Miss Janie, to our next couple of slides, and you mentioned that your locations right now are at Our Lady of Peace in North Augusta, and also at Midland Valley Church of the Nazarene in Clearwater, and you have some very positive results to share. James, let's put up that Our Lady of Peace, and tell us about the impact you're making there.
Now, first of all, at Our Lady of the Peace, this is for 2010 through June of 2011. So, I mean, we're not talking that long. We had 119 students.
My goodness.
Which translates into 1,693 student hours.
Wow.
Okay. And we have 21 volunteers, which translates into, 628 volunteer hours.
528.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
528 volunteer hours. So it's not just an impact on the students, it's impact on the volunteers also.
Right.
You know,
right.
the volunteers are always telling me that, you know, how it changes their lives and how positive it is for them.
Now, 119 students in just that small period of time with that one location. How are they able to find you? How do you get your students?
We advertise in the newspapers,
Okay.
you know, the different newspapers, and we have our website, and word of mouth is the best one.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I mean, a student tells another person, you know, and then they become a student or they bring other people with them.
Right, right. Good. Well, we also have some more good news to report over in the Clearwater area. Let's take a look at that slide and discuss the statistics there.
Okay, now these numbers I want you to understand are only from April 2011 until June 2011. So
Wow.
we just started, okay, and we didn't have classes in July or August. So there we have 35 adults, 54 children, and 21 volunteers. Now that translates into 213 adult hours, 228 children hours, and 96 volunteer hours. So I mean, again, it's for such a short time. It's just validifies what the need is.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, there is such a need in this area.
And there are so many people who don't even know about the organization, so you can imagine what your numbers would be the more people who learn about the organization. Obviously, the way that things are going in this country, those who are the minority may quickly become the majority. And it's going to behoove us as a country to not only learn the different languages ourselves, particularly Spanish, but also that those who choose to become citizens of this country can feel empowered to be fully engaged in this country and to help make it be the best country it possibly can be. And certainly learning English is a vital part of that empowerment. So in just a minute, we'll come right back and speak more with Miss Janie Rule. Hopefully, we'll have on the phone line either one of her students or volunteers. We need some more volunteers. We'll talk about that up next, right here inside of Education Matters.
Does your child or grandchild need help in reading or math, or can benefit from preparatory coursework for the HSAP, ACT, or SAT? If so, contact the Barner Group Educational Associates. Our staff specializes in formatting an individualized approach to assisting your child academically. We offer low-cost tutorial services and educational programs. Participants may qualify for free services. To learn more, call for Alicia Cuthbertson of the Barner Group Educational Associates, 1-888-TBG-3996.
Need positive and constructive after-school activities for your children? Call the Martial Arts Academy in Aiken under the direction of International Olympic trainer Andrew Blocker. The Martial Arts Academy offers an award-winning approach to teaching Taekwondo. It's an effective approach to instilling discipline. The Martial Arts Academy also offers self-defense and fitness classes for all ages. Enroll today in this affordable program by calling 803-642-5723 or visit the studio at 2398 Whiskey Road in Aiken. The Martial Arts Academy, positively changing the lives of youth and adults.
Total Women's Health Care means treating the women physically, emotionally, and everything in between. At Magnolia Medical Women's Center, we treat and diagnose common and unusual medical problems related to female health. Magnolia Medical Center is a premium high-level obstetrics and gynecology clinic for women of all ages. Our clients receive the time they deserve without feeling rushed and unimportant. We are located in the Aiken Medical Center, 410 University Parkway in Aiken, Suite 2300. Call us today at 803-649-6366.
I lead a busy life, but I still have to make sure my family eats right. And everybody loves Dawn's Seasoning Delight. I use Dawn's on meats and vegetables. It's healthy, tastes great, and it's simple to use. It's like having a chef in a bottle.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Bilo, Food Line Roots and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Dawn's Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
When it come to grilling, I'm the man. Using Dawn Seasoning Delight, I'm the grill master.
My seasoning is available at Kroger, Bilo, Food Line Roots and Harvest. Look for it on display in the meat department. Also visit seasoningdelight.com for information and recipes. Dawn Seasoning Delight. It's so good.
Dawn's Seasoning Delight is so good.
If you are interested in becoming an individual or corporate sponsor of Education Matters, or to receive sponsorship information, call Donna Moore Wesby at 803-507-6793, or you can send an email to dwesby@edmat.com.
Welcome back inside of Education Matters. My name is Donna Moore Westby, your host, and we're connecting you to the world of education one step at a time. Well, we have success, and on the phone line joining us is Mr. Alejandro. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay, and he is one of Miss Janie Rule's students of the Learn English for Living Foundation. How are you today, sir?
I'm fine.
All right. I understand you're on a roof right now?
I can hear you very good.
Okay. Well, you make sure you are safe and don't you hurt yourself, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, today we're here with Miss Janie and we're talking about the Learn English for Living Foundation. How has this organization helped you?
Oh, man. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, man. I'm sorry, I can't hear exactly very good. Go ahead, because
Alejandro, the question is, what has learning English done for you?
when English made for me?
Yes.
That for me?
Yes.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh. Well, this English helped me for everything, my job and my life. And I'm going to try to learn a little bit more.
Repeat, what was the last thing you said, Miss Janie?
And he always needs to learn a little bit more.
Always needs to learn a little bit more. Now, when you came to, when did you come to the United States?
When I came to the United States?
Yes.
Oh, long time ago, about 14, 15 years ago.
Okay. And how long did it take you to learn English through this foundation?
I don't know exactly, but that helped me a lot.
Yes, it's definitely helped you a lot. Now, do you find that you have more confidence in this country now that you have learned more about English?
If you find what?
Do you have more confidence?
Yes. Yes.
Does it make your job easier, Alejandro?
Yeah, that's making my job easy. I communicate with my boss or my partners on the job.
Mm-hmm. Well, wonderful.
They help me a lot.
Well, wonderful. What advice would you give to those watching today who might also need to learn English and are watching our broadcast today? Did you hear the question?
No, really.
What would you tell other people about going to class?
Yeah.
Do it, okay?
No. Can you tell me again?
What would you tell other people about going to? Right.
Why? Tell the other people about the program?
Right. Why would you tell them it would be good for them? Why would you encourage them?
I wouldn't tell those that is a good idea. That'll have I'll love it for those guys, for those.
All right. Well, we're going to let you go ahead and get back to work. We thank you for taking time to share with us, and we just wish you the best, all right?
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Well, we made it through. But the bottom line is, there's good news. I mean, it's definitely opened up many doors for him. As he mentioned, he's able to communicate better with his employer, and it has increased his confidence. And certainly, that is what you would want your students to be able to say. Right. Well, let's talk again about volunteering. We know that this organization cannot thrive or succeed without the help of volunteers.
Right. Everything that we do is our instructors, our teachers are all volunteers. Our facilities are all donated. And the funding is all contributions. Okay, so I mean everything in this program is volunteer per se. We need more volunteers because the goal of the foundation is to have different sites in different areas of the CSRA that are convenient for the student and for the volunteers. Okay, so we want to have several different sites.
So you have a couple of different goals in addition to making sure that English is taught and that your students are able to grasp the language. You're also in need of volunteers, and you're also in need of additional locations because obviously the need is more than just in Clearwater or North Augusta, but you have goals of having a site in Aiken, South Carolina, and other places.
Right.
Now, if there are people watching this broadcast today and they're interested in either volunteering their location, their church as a site, how would they go about making that happen?
They can either reach us on our website. There's a link there to send in their information and email it to us. Or they can call and we'll talk with them about it.
And let's share that phone number.
It's 706-284-7555.
Repeat that one more time.
706-284-7555.
And you are based in Aiken County, but you're willing to go as far as the funds will allow to help as many people as you can, correct?
Yeah, as evidenced in Chilton, Wisconsin.
Yes. I saw that and I said, what?
But I mean, our immediate goal is for the Aiken area. The Chilton, Wisconsin is, you know, and as people have heard of our program, you know, they've reached out to us. But the next goal is to have classes in Aiken. I'm just waiting, you know, for adequate volunteers, and we need the facility to do it.
In terms of the classes for the adults, are these held throughout the day, or is it also in the evening?
Currently, the classes for adults are 4:30 to 6, and another set from 7:30 to 9.
Okay.
And the goal is to have them all day long. You know, I mean, the goal is at the different sites to have them at convenient times and places for the students. But that takes volunteers.
Right.
So we need to increase our volunteer base.
Now, speaking of the volunteers, what types of qualifications would one have to have in order to volunteer in this organization to teach?
They need to volunteer. They need to have a heart. They need to have compassion. They need to care. They need to be able to speak English. And that really is about it. We do have certified teachers, and we do have, you know, fully qualified instructors, but we need assistants. We need people that just practice the English with them. We need people that can do the homework, you know, tutoring with the children. So, I mean, you don't have to be overly qualified because, as your program says, if someone's got the knowledge of English that they want to share with someone else, we want them.
All right, so viewers, there are no excuses. If you are speaking English and you're speaking it right now, it doesn't matter what level it is, there is a need and there is a place for you to help someone else. There are different levels. There are children of all ages who you're providing services for, as well as adults. So if you are feeling led to become a part of this organization and would like to volunteer, again, please go to edmat.com. And on the right column of my website, you will see the link for Learn English for Living Foundation. And we need some more volunteers, so it doesn't take a whole lot of time, right?
No, the maximum that we request is 2 hours a week.
Okay.
And if you can't do 2 hours a week, that's okay. We will take you once a month, or we'll take you once every other month.
We'll take you when we can get
We
you.
will.
Now, I also noticed in looking at the organization, it almost becomes like a support group. I noticed that you all have a variety of activities that you provide. Discuss that.
Right. We've had several different things. We've had bowling parties and baby showers and birthday parties and potluck dinners. The point of that is we're not just trying to teach the people that don't speak English. We want to make them a part of our community. The purpose of teaching them English is to make them a part of our community.
Right.
And to make them a part of your community, you have to become a part of their life. I mean, it is amazing how often we've been invited to christenings and weddings and, you know, different things of our students. But it means so much to them when they go to the grocery store and they see somebody that they know, one of the volunteers, and they can actually say, "Hi, how are you?"
Right.
After they've spent maybe a couple of years here, just not, you know, acknowledging anyone because they didn't know anyone. So the reason for the parties and things are to make them a part of our community.
I want to also make you aware this is more than just for individuals who are looking to speak English or to learn English. If you own a business, if you work for a business and your employees do not speak English as their primary language and you know they need assistance, you tell them about this foundation, all right? Because they may not get the opportunity to see this program. So please share with them that they can watch this broadcast. This broadcast will re-air 3 times a day right here on ASTV at 7 a.m., at 1 p.m., and at 11 p.m. It's also available, as well as all of our broadcasts are, on the internet. Again, all you have to do is go to edmat.com, and I keep telling you about that site. There's so much information there. And then click on videos, and it will automatically route you to the ASTV Education Matters website, where all 21 of our broadcasts are listed there for you to watch any time of the day. So having said that, I want to again say to you, Miss Janie, thank you for coming on the broadcast. Thank you for helping us to get one of your students today, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, go to that website, edmat.com. I've got a couple of polls on there. I need for you to check those out. I need to get some information from you to help me prepare for some future broadcasts, all right? Again, thank you so much for watching. You're inside of Education Matters. My name is Donna Moore Westby. Till next week, take care.
Total women's health care means treating the women physically, emotionally, and everything in between. At Magnolia Medical Women's Center, we treat and diagnose common and unusual medical problems related to female health. Magnolia Medical Center is a premium high-level obstetrics and gynecology clinic for women of all ages. Our clients receive the time they deserve without feeling rushed and unimportant. We are located in the Aiken Medical Center, 410 University Parkway in Aiken, Suite 2300. Call us today at 803-649-6366.
Does your child or grandchild need help in reading or math, or can benefit from preparatory coursework for the HSAP, ACT, or SAT? If so, contact the Barner Group Educational Associates. Our staff specializes in formatting an individualized approach to assisting your child academically. We offer low-cost tutorial services and educational programs. Participants may qualify for free services. To learn more, call for Alicia Cuthbertson of the Barner Group Educational Associates, 1-888-TBG-3996.
Need positive and constructive after-school activities for your children? Call the Martial Arts Academy in Aiken under the direction of International Olympic trainer Andrew Blocker. The Martial Arts Academy offers an award-winning approach to teaching Taekwondo. It's an effective approach to instilling discipline. The Martial Arts Academy also offers self-defense and fitness classes for all ages. Enroll today in this affordable program by calling 803-642-5723 or visit the studio at 2398 Whiskey Road in Aiken. The Martial Arts Academy, positively changing the lives of youth and adults.